Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second episode of Into the Game. Today we're gonna be looking at a game called Ghost Recon Online by Ubisoft. The game is currently in beta, but you can sign up for a beta key on the Ubisoft website, or wait till the end of the video where I'm gonna tell you how I'm gonna give away 10 beta keys. Anyways, back to the game. Ghost Recon is an action, third-person online multiplayer shooter, and the business model for the game will be a free-to-play. But now, because this is a computer game, before we talk more about the game, let's check the settings. So for controls, what do we have? We have fully rebindable keys. Any key you can change it to anything you want. This is a must-have for any computer game. For audio options, we have the essential. You can change the max and a couple more. And for voice over IP, we have a push to talk enabled by default and a button to mute all players. This is actually quite good compared to some other games that came out recently on the computer that had voice always active and no way to mute it. But now, when we go to the video options, we can see that they are a bit lacking. There is no anti-aliasing. The only thing you can change is the detail of the game, and it doesn't even tell you if you can change the one for the textures, for the shadows, for the units. And you only have full screen or window, then no borderless. Yes, the video options are lacking. But remember, the game is still in beta, so maybe they will get changed. Let's hope so. Okay, now let's talk about the game. You can choose any of the three classes: Specialist, Recon, and Assault. Each class has different weapons, devices, and squad support. I don't think I have to tell you what weapons are, but you might be wondering what devices and squad supports are. Devices are basically active skills you can use during a match, and squad supports are buffs you give to your squad members when they're in range. Now let's look at each class in more details. The Specialist is the class that uses the big advanced weapons and devices. His devices are the Aegis, which creates a force field that deflects bullets and grenades, and Blackout, which creates an EMP discharge around them, stunning enemies and blocking their weapons. His squad supports are Ammo Supply, which restores 1 or 2 ammunition depending on the level to you and your teammates around you, and Device Recharge increases the energy recharge rate by 3 or 6% of you and your nearby allies. Then we have the Assault class. As the name says, it specializes in assaulting enemy points. His primary weapons are an assault rifle and a shotgun, and his devices are Blitz and Heat. Blitz is a shield that boosts your movement speed and knocks enemy down in your path, while Heat is a device that emits powerful microwave into its target. Enemy hit by the microwave take damage per second and more damage the longer they get hit by those microwaves. Also, those enemies cannot shoot or sprint. His squad supports are Armor Harden and Combat Regen. Armor Harden increases the armor of all your nearby allies and yourself by 5 or 10% depending on the level, and Combat Regen increases the life per second you gain by 1.8 or 3 per second depending on the level. At last, we have the Recon class. His role is gathering information about the enemy during the fight. His primary weapons are a sniper rifle and a submachine gun. His devices are Oracle and Cloak. Oracle spots enemy close to you and highlights them for you and your team, while Cloak, well, cloaks you. The cloak is not perfect, and you can spot a cloaked enemy by looking at the distortion that it creates. Finally, his squad supports are Gunshot Detector, that detects enemies that shoot within 30 or 45 meters from the Recon depending on the level, and Vector Detector, that detects enemies who are sprinting within 10 or 15 meters from the Recon. Now let's look at the shop of the game. As we said before, the game will be free to play, so you can buy weapon, devices, armors, consumable with in-game money or with real money. From what I can tell, the weapons are not all imbalanced, and most of them seem like a side grade, even if some really high level weapons seem to be a full upgrade from the lower level, having more damage and better fire rate, but I'm not high level so I can't really tell. The armors and the other devices, those you can buy of course from the shop, they get better by level, so yes, here a higher level character will have more resistance so more survivability, and it can create some imbalances. There are some items that you can only buy with real money, and those are the boost. You can get XP boost and in-game currency boost for real money. Everything else you can get it from both in-game currency and real money. I also read somewhere that weapons might be rented and not bought in the final version of the game, meaning that the weapons you will buy you will have to re-buy after a set amount of time. But don't quote me on this, it might not be implemented in the final game. While we take a look at the profile, I'm gonna talk about the biggest complaint I have about the game. A higher level player is flat out better in every way than a lower level. As you heard me saying before, squad supports get better when you reach a certain level, and all the items get a little better every time you upgrade them, and armors get flat out better. I really prefer when companies do not do this because it creates a huge gap between players that are new and players who are experienced. Not only they are new and they don't know like the maps or how to play exactly, but they're also weaker than other players. With that out of the way, let's jump into a game. So, from the gameplay, there are a couple of things that you will notice right away. One is that friendly units have an icon. This is for easily distinguishing the classes of your allies. Specialists have a circle, assaults have a square, and recons have a triangle. The other thing you will notice is that these icons connect to each other. When they do, it means that you're sharing buff with that other ghost. One nice thing about the game is that every time you hit, it shows how much damage you do, and if it crits, it shows the number in red. Not only headshots can crit, but every hit can. The probability of the crit is shown near the reticule of the weapon. And now, meet the Assault Blitz. The shields is the one that allows you to run faster and to knock down enemy in your path, so that when they fall, you can easily kill them and get the points. And also have some parkour. In this game, you can't actually jump, but you can jump on things or off things. And you can slide to cover or under other objects. This allows people to take interesting paths and not always go the same exact route. Anyways, I don't have much more to say about this title. While I enjoyed my couple of matches I did with the Assault Blitz, most of it I didn't really like it. Probably because I'm not really good at this kind of shooters. I prefer the one like Quake, Unreal, Tribes of Sand. In this one I kept dying really fast and many times from enemies that I could not see. Like this time, this one. If you're into this kind of shooters, I'm sure you will have a better time with it. Now I'll tell you how you can get a beta key. First, you need to be subscribed to my channel. Second, you need to leave a comment saying why you want the beta key of this game. Also, a like is not mandatory, but it's really appreciated. Anyways, thank you all for watching. My name has been Gokalex, and I hope I'll see you soon on the next episode of Into the Game.